Hey guys, welcome to the Vault. Now we are back again with another exclusive video. Today we are talking Anthem Shop. Anthem Shop is a new retailer. They're a little bit north of Toronto. They're run by our good friend Dan. We will be going through some of his previous collections, what's available now, what he released in the past, and what is dropping a little bit later. So we will have that exclusive announcement at the end of the show. But first, I guess we'll kind of start by talking about everyone's kind of favorite subject, sneaker hooks. This is kind of a polarizing thing in the hat community. There's times where people talk about things in the sneaker world landing in the hat world and vice versa. But everyone likes a good sneaker, right, Pierre?
Oh yeah, I love sneakers almost as much as I do hats, not quite as much, but I've kind of evolved over the years where when I was younger, I started with a sneaker and tied it up with a hat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I start with a hat first and then end with a sneaker. So I've evolved, I think, from a more of a sneakerhead to a hat collector.
Yeah.
But listen, I think these two things go hand in hand, in the fashion community, right?
Definitely.
Hats and sneakers, no doubt. And I think you guys will be pretty impressed to see, what Anthem's done here. So with that, I think what better time than now than to jump into some of the current offerings that Anthem has in store. So they went with like this 3-tiered approach on what's in the store right now: classic, retro, and modern. The classic, they went with those two-tone caps with some classic old school front logos and some cool side patches. With retro, they went with those script fronts with the team logo on the side. And with modern, they took the spring training silhouette and they put it on everybody's favorite polyester and not that stupid diamond era. So, and fortunately enough for Anthem and for you, Leon, the Toronto Blue Jays spring training silhouette, in my opinion, was the best of all the teams in Major League Baseball this year. So, listen, I think these three little sets, really cool caps, good selection, just solid work. And I'll say Dan is definitely putting his stamp on things. And not to mention, he's a good dude. So you know how we are. Leon and I support folks that are doing the best work they possibly can, but are also good people. And I think we found that in Anthem and Dan. But so for these three collections were preceded by a couple of head turners. So the first collection that really got me to pay attention to Anthem was 6 Gold. So this collection took the Toronto Blue Jays and kind of used a canvas that I think is just absolutely beautiful. So you've got that pine needle green, you've got that classic Toronto Blue Jay blue, and you've got the jet black. And each of them with those mono front logos, but that gold maple leaf and the gold elements in the side patch. These are just incredibly clean looking caps. They're absolutely gorgeous. And when I tell you this is a head turner, this made me pay attention. And I don't know about you, Leon, but these things are fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they flew on the initial launch, and then he went right into pre-order. So
yep. Yeah.
The work speaks for itself. I mean, these are great looking hats.
Yeah. And then the next collection was the Rocket Pack, which is based on those popsicles. So again, took a really cool silhouette from that popsicle and kind of spread it across 3 different caps. And again, I was more of a fan of the 6 Gold pack, but these are great spring caps. These are the kind of caps you wear in the spring or the summer. They just look fantastic. The colors just go well together. I know, Leon, you're not a fan of optic white. And your Blue Jays cap was blessed with the optic white, but
yeah,
listen, these were great caps nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a great pack.
Yeah.
It's a great pack.
It's a great pack. And now, let's so before we move to we can move there. That's okay.
Sorry.
So sneaker hooks, right? So you and I have kind of had this love-hate relationship with sneaker hooks. So you and I talk about this endlessly, right? About we don't want to get too matchy.
Yeah.
Right. And I think what you start to see with sneaker hooks that are kind of cheesy in our eyes, it's the ones that are too close to the sneaker. Like when you're taking specific elements from the sneaker and going too far with it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like an obnoxious kind of approach to,
it's almost like it's like a lazy way to build a hat. It's like, let's
yeah,
just take the shoe and make a hat out of it. Like Jordan 13, the signature part is that like holographic piece there. It's supposed to mimic like a panther eye. But like,
yeah,
if you want to make a hat to match it, you don't need to bring the eye and put it on the hat like you see in
no,
the bottom right hand corner. So it's like
yeah,
small stuff like that,
yeah. What was the point of that?
Yeah,
You know,
like having it match kind of just as a coincidence is much better than just straight up building a hat to match
yeah, these
together.
remind me of these 2-piece outfits you used to get for 3-year-olds at the local Target or the
Yeah,
local Walmart. I mean, come on, it's like it's just too much. But if you look at the next slide, there's just more of the same. These are just bad sneaker hooks. I mean, you know, I don't even want to get too much deeper into this because what we're trying to paint here is the fact that sneaker hooks done wrong are terrible.
hmm
Sneaker hooks done right can be fantastic. So, a sneaker hook that's done right can be worn with the corresponding sneaker or without,
yeah,
right? And it can be done in a way that's just tasteful and just feels right. So, we're going to take you through what Anthem's put together. And then I'm going to give you a live look at the hats because I have them in hand. And I'm going to tell you when they're going to release. So this one is the Jordan 1. We all know that shoe. This is an iconic sneaker. This one looks like it's been worn a little bit.
yeah,
But then look at the sneaker hook. Okay, he took that two-tone cap, that beautiful red crown. It's just fantastic looking. This is not something that looks like it was just slapped together. This looks like there was effort put into it. It corresponds with the sneaker, but you also would not be afraid to wear this with a ton of other sneakers,
hmm
right?
hmm
It's inspired by the Jordan 1 Bred, but it can be worn with so many other things. There's nothing stopping you from wearing this with some Air Max 1s. So I don't know. I just love this. I just love this combo. So that was the first one of the pack. The second one is the Jordan 4 Bred. And this one is a little less loud, I'd say, but ties in perfectly, right? Leo, what are your thoughts on this one?
Jordan 4 Bred classic shoe. I mean, arguably the best Jordan 4. So you're starting from a good point. I like how the gray, there's a good balance of black with gray and red. Um, yeah, it
What's
just
what's
works well.
stopping what's stopping someone from wearing this with the black cement toes?
Nothing really.
Now the threes. I mean, you could do the same thing with that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
this another classic, great looking hat, not too overdone, nice and clean, and matches really nice to the sneakers that inspired it.
hmm
So let's go into the
Definitely.
next one, the Jordan 6. The Jordan 6 Infrareds. I mean, these are iconic sneakers as well. And said, listen, I'm just going to take a black canvas and I'm going to make it tie into this shoe the right way,
hmm
effortlessly, and just make it look like they're meant for each other, but it's not too much in your face. So, what are your thoughts here, Leon?
Another shoe that's arguably the best out of the bunch, the Jordan 6 Black Infrared. Probably, I mean, it's up there with the Carmines, but this one, I think personally, it's my favorite 6. It's just something that you can wear every day, and then the execution on it is really good. The
Yeah.
infrared accents, it's not in your face. He kept the Blue Jay mostly tonal,
Mm-hmm.
with a couple white outlines to make it pop, but then it's the
Yeah.
infrared accents that really make this hat go. I think out of the whole pack, it's to me it's between this one and the 4 that
Hmm.
are the best.
Yeah. I like the Jordan 1 the best.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's move to the Jordan 11 Concords. So, I mean, anybody who knows this sneaker knows where that purple comes from, right?
hmm
The sole of the shoe. So this too is absolutely beautiful. You're not going too wild. There's no patent leather shoved on the hat. It's like it just makes sense, man. I mean, again, a fantastic looking silhouette on that Toronto Blue Jays hat that just goes. It just connects effortlessly to the sneaker. I mean, and it doesn't look like you're trying too hard.
yeah.
You know what I mean, Leon? It doesn't look like you're trying too hard. It doesn't look like you're wearing a uniform. It looks like you put together a really good outfit, and that sneaker inspired an absolutely beautiful cap. And what I love most is if you look at the Blue Jay, right? The way the Blue Jay is kind of created there, the bottom's black and the top is white, just like the sneaker. So it's just, I don't know, man. It just looks really good. It looks really good.
You know what's the best part to me about this marketing campaign?
What's that?
Is that he's shooting all his hats like you would shoot your pictures. So it's got like
but he gave me credit for that on
me
credit for that on Instagram. Remember, he said thank you to Pierre for teaching us how to take a hat picture. I mean, I don't want to take credit for all that, but
no, this had to be said. It had to be said.
I love these. I love what they've done here. What we can do is we can get to our full screen now if you want.
Sure.
And then I'll show them real quick. And then what we can do is we can then let everyone know when these things are releasing.
Yeah.
So there it is.
So that's the Jordan 1.
Yep. All these have gray unders, which I love. You know how I am. Gray and green, man. Gray and green are the classics. You can kind of narrate for me, Leon.
Mm-hmm. So this one is the Jordan 4, right?
Yep.
Jordan 4 Bred. We got, black, gray, a little bit more gray than the other one, but it's got that red outline. This one's for the Jordan 6, infrared black. So you're going to see a hat that's mostly black with the red accents. It's got a little bit gray under. Set it off. Ooh, that's in a cool Batterman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank God he didn't use black underbill, or Jason would have sent him a threatening letter.
Oh, I wouldn't want to wear them either with a black undervisor.
Yeah.
Forget black undervisors.
Yeah. So this is to match the Jordan 11 Concord, arguably the most famous shoe of all time. This is the comeback shoe, right? Jordan came back. He had this waiting for him. Tinker Hatfield had this shoe ready to go. And he wore them in Space Jam. It's probably the most recognizable Jordan, I would say.
Look at those.
He picked 4 great shoes. I mean, if you're going to pick 4 shoes,
iconic shoes.
The other one that's missing is probably the Jordan 3, but it's kind of better he didn't hook that one because then you end up having to use like the elephant print. But you don't really need to, man. Like we showed that one hat, right? I mean, that can easily go with the black cement 3. So yeah, the 3 and the 4 is close in terms of color, but he picked 4 great shoes.
Absolutely
to hook. So
yeah. Well, listen, we highly recommend. I do, at least. I mean, I'm not gonna speak for you, Leon. I highly recommend these caps. I think they're great looking. And again, effortless. You don't have to go for all of them, but if you're a real fan of one of those 4 shoes, man, go after it. Yeah. I mean, this is the way to go. I mean, they're beautiful. They're effortless. It doesn't look like you're trying too hard. It's not too matchy, as we like to put it. I highly recommend not only these, but I also recommend Anthem Shops and Dan. Good dude. Easy to talk to, connected to the community, really cares about what he's crafting. I just really love what he stands for. And I love the stuff he's doing. So these caps,
when they come
released,
when do they come up?
Tomorrow at noon.
Okay. So Friday, December 31st.
Yep. Tomorrow is Thursday.
Thursday? Yes, Thursday, December 31st. Sorry for confusing people.
Yeah, you're confusing people. Thursday. Yeah. But listen, this isn't a huge retailer. This is someone that's a new kid on the block that's really starting up. So if you want one of these, you got to jump.
Yeah.
You got to jump. And maybe there's a pre-order if you don't. I don't know. But you got to jump. If you want one, you got to jump. But Leon, why don't you take us away?
Yeah, make sure you guys like, rate, review, subscribe. Let us know in the comments if you've ever done business with Anthem Shop. And until next time, stay fitted.
See you, everybody.